Hey, what's up, everybody? Lawler here, inside source for all things Rocket League. We finally got the announcement that was talked about in the other announcement for RLCS 2021-2022. They said in a couple weeks' time that we are going to have more information regarding the Esports Shop overhaul, and we finally got it. So in today's video, we're going to talk about that, the 32 teams, all the decals, home and away kits, bunch of really cool stuff, and they ended up leaking a couple teams that are picking up rosters, which we'll talk in tomorrow's video. Either way, let's jump into it. What's up, everybody? Lawler here. Going to be talking about the new revamped Esports Shop, something that has been talked about and discussed, and a whole lot is being added to it. But rather than me talking about it initially, let's show some of these decals off because they look incredible. So obviously in the trailer, they talk about a lot of different things that are fun, but we're going to be focusing more so on the actual blog post that came out, just because it has some more of the specifics. The cool thing about that trailer, though, is you can go back and screenshot a couple things, take a look at some of the home and away decals and all that other kind of stuff. So the reason why this is important is there's a lot of cool things that they're doing with the Esports Shop, and now we have a dedicated look at what it's going to be. So the post starts off and says the new season of RLCS is nearly upon us, but before it kicks off for the first regional of the fall split, new esports team decals are coming to Rocket League officially on October 5th. That is the day to pay attention to. On the 5th, all of these will be in the store at a massive update. Following a game update on October 5th at 4 p.m. Pacific, pending first-party certification, the Esports Shop is being refreshed with 34 new team decals for teams across several regions. For the first time ever, this will include teams from South America and OCE, which I'll detail those in a sec. All the teams will get home kits that include team decals that were custom made by the esports teams themselves. This is a little bit different in the past. When I talked about how things were a little bit more templated, it's because the majority of them were done internally by the Psyonix team, and now they've given that freedom out. I know in particular there's been a couple organizations that have actually used community mockups by J-Ski, the One Super, and etc. And those are the ones that are actually going in game. Some of these guys were basically making mockups, and now their stuff is in their favorite game that they've been playing. It's actually incredible to see some of that stuff come in. You will have team decals for Octane, Dominus, and Fennec, and those will be sold individually for 300 esports tokens, but then you can also buy them as a kit where it includes everything. There will in the future be home and away kits, but as of right now, home kits are the only ones that are on display. They then list a massive amount of teams, and I'm going to show you that list now as I go through. Dignitas, Endpoint, Envy, United, EG, FaZe Clan, Furia, G2, Ghost Gaming, Giants, Ground Zero Gaming, Guild, K-Corp, NRG, Pittsburgh Knights, PWR, or Power, I think it is, which is a former Fortnite, now dabbling in Rocket League, which is to a lot of surprise. I'll talk about more details on that in tomorrow's video. Rebellion, Renegades, OCE, Rix.GG, Rogue, Semper, SK, Solary is back. Space Station Gaming, Sonics, BDS, Liquid, Queso, Singularity is back. Team Vitality, Torrent, which nobody knows about, but my assumption is that it is the former Alpine team rebranding and changing their name. By the time this video comes out, we'll know that information, but I'll talk about, again, more of that stuff in detail tomorrow's video. True Neutral, version 1, and X-Set, and I do definitely have my favorites. If you guys would like me to do like a tier list or ranking list of the different decals, let me know in the comments down below, as well as some of your guys' favorites as well. It talks about how these 34 teams are just the beginning. As the season progresses, they plan on adding more teams, so please look out for away kits and more later this season, which is awesome. Was part of the issue is how it took forever to get some of these implemented. It seems like with some of the updates coming to the game, they're going to be able to implement more teams, more kits at a faster rate, which is massive for the game because it does enable revenue options for teams, so it should entice other organizations to get back in or just get in Rocket League for the first place. So the only one missing from this is Cloud9. If Cloud9 was on this list, people would have lost their goddamn minds. Either way, make sure that the full patch notes are paid attention to. I'll probably cover the full patch notes when it comes out, paired with other news stuff. That is on October 5th. Also, all the RLCS action, blah, 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 starts on the 15th for the fall split, which we already know about. So a lot of cool stuff, and you can kind of scroll through these at the very bottom of the post, which are probably showcasing in rotation very briefly because Wojtek's a legend. And a lot of really cool ones in here. Some different faded decals that I really like. Some things that have been simplified and cleaned up. Primarily my favorites, obviously version 1. I think theirs looks absolutely incredible. Space Stations looks really, really cool. And there's a couple others in there that look pretty slick. But again, I'm glad to see that some of these are getting revamped and a little bit more, I guess, more of a unique approach. I will say G2's is kind of weird. Why they went with yellow instead of red like the other one. I actually prefer their old decal, but again, I'm excited to see home and away kits. I will say probably the best one is Envy's. Envy's looks incredible with that gradient. They did a really, really good job with the 3-tone color and fading it in. So some of these turned out really dang well, and a lot of people had comments to say about this. One in particular, United Burns, who is their GM and VP of esports over at United, said, quote, "It's hard to believe Psyonix executed 34 team decals for digital sales, including an away kit coming soon, which included an opportunity for orgs to sell a title sponsor for, which to my knowledge has never been done in esports before." And the reason why that's such a big deal is I, as an organization, if I have one, can go and bring to a sponsor like, yo, not only will you sponsor our team, but we have the ability to, in one of our premier esports that's going to pull these types of numbers, these retention rates, your logo is going to be on the car in the game all the time. That's a massive opportunity for them to recoup some of the costs. It is a really cool way that some of these organizations are going to be able to position that information. And maybe that's something I'll try to reach out to some of these GMs or, you know, owners or whatever and see if they're willing to talk about some of that stuff. Even if they don't give specifics, it'd be cool to hear about the ways that they approach doing this is more of an insightful thing. Let me know if you guys want to hear that down below as well. But he talks, that's 204 total skins and multiple sources of revenue for organizations, which is awesome. This is one of the big things looking back at the 13 teams that signed the petition. More communication from Rocket League, more ways to earn revenue. It is progressing in the right way. Rocket League is about to hit a stride that we almost expected last year to really hit with the new circuit-based system, but all these little things, as much as COVID sucked, I think it gave Psyonix and Rocket League Esports some time for some refinement, and this season is going to make Rocket League explode and hopefully my YouTube channel. So fingers crossed on that one, and I do appreciate all you guys' love and support. Make sure you guys hit subscribe, notifications, all that fun stuff. But yeah, there's a bunch of people that have replied to this, a bunch of people that are really excited about it across the esports scene altogether. My recommendation is go to the post that I have linked in the description and go and click on the quote tweets and see some of the responses to this and pay attention to a lot of the organizations or the owners or people that are replying to it, because there's some pretty cool insight. There's a general feel when this post came out. There's like this overwhelming positivity surrounding Rocket League right now, which normally there's a lot of negative and there's no content, blah, blah, blah. But all these things towards the esport are just incredible. At the end of the day, esport is a marketing tool. And although it's the reason I watch and play this game still sometimes, it kind of outweighs everything else going on. The concept of Rocket League becoming a traditional sport, making mainstream, all these types of things are really exciting. And speaking of mainstream, the next episode of Ranking Up on Sportsnet, the one that I host, will be shot next week and then probably airing on like the 16th, 15th, in line with the first fall regional split. So trying to do a bunch of cool stuff there. If you guys have questions about that as well, let me know in the comments down below. Things you'd like me to talk about, stuff on the format that you have questions about, I'll tweet about that stuff as well. Either way, this is absolutely incredible. This is exactly what I wanted to see. The only question I have is how frequently are we going to see these updated? Is it going to be split to split? Is it going to be regional to regional? If we got a team that's popping off, you know, their window of opportunity may be super short. But again, I don't think Psyonix wants to put decals for orgs in there if they're not going to be around for a long time. They did say 2 are not coming in, if I remember correctly. Alpine is removing because I think they are getting replaced by that other one I talked about in the list. I'll talk about that in tomorrow's video. And then I think Oxygen as well. Because this situation happened, and I'll talk about this in full detail tomorrow, a lot of organizations did announce they're coming back into Rocket League because this announcement wasn't waiting for anybody. So a lot of organizations being announced on the 9th and stuff. I'll detail that in tomorrow's video. So if you want to make sure you don't miss out on that stuff, news, staying up to date, make sure you guys go down below, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, And like the post if you enjoy it. Any comments, questions, concerns, always in the comments down below. And feel free to tweet at me if you want to as well, at Lawler TV. But we'll see you in the next one. Peace.